Sorry.
I can't.
Yeah, sorry about that, Vic. Hold on, we still got you on mute.
A minute.
Oh, there you go.
Now?
Yep, all
Okay.
set. Go ahead.
Congrats on the win, Sean.
Hey, thanks, Vic. Appreciate it.
Yes.
How was the birthday? How was the birthday?
Outstanding. Thank you. And yeah, she was watching with great more attentiveness than any time in 8 years.
Awesome.
But for you, Coach, breaking this streak, this the stretch against the Pats. How much does that mean? I know another game, another win, 6 wins. You're going to give me the big picture, but it has to be special to
yeah.
win.
Listen, it feels good. I mean, it's one win, right? They're all hard to get, Vic, as you know, and just really proud of the guys, the way they started with our process and our focus internally on Monday, and that's really what led us to the victory. Obviously a huge play by Zim down the stretch. Really proud of our offensive line coaches. I thought we did a great job in the running game this week, and that was an emphasis all week, and they responded to the challenge.
And Sean, to that point about the run game showing up for the first time in the biggest way, a lot of you guys talked about that being the week-long mentality, but for you to see it on a season-long basis to finally happen and know how important it is going forward, can you just kind of characterize what that all meant and how, is this, in your mind, is this satisfying that you're onto something here, or you don't think it's just a one-off, so to speak?
Well, I think, Vic, if I understand your question the right way, I think it's us evolving as a football team, and you always have to look at every week where you can improve, and we'll do the same thing. Starting tonight, I already wrote some things down as I sat in my locker here. So it's really doing a good assessment of where we are and what we need to do to grow as a football team, and the players committing to that. And my hat goes off to them. They understood what we needed to do this week, and they worked hard on it all week. They really did. And we went in pads on Wednesday, as you probably know, and that showed up today.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, good to see you. Congrats on the win. Just what was your reaction when Justin Zimmer forced that fumble, and then you see Dean Marlowe recover there to seal it for you guys? Yeah,
awesome to see. I mean, two guys that have come through a lot of adversity in their careers, and one, it's great to have Dean here, who was with us in Carolina. That's why you're running the ball, right? Because you're inches away from somebody else on the Patriots recovering it, and that's why we create the habit, and you got to do it every play. And then Zimmer, again, just a guy that's been around a little bit, just traveled to different teams, and we're so thankful to have him here. He's really, he's cut from the cloth of Buffalo, man. He's just DNA wise, he doesn't say much. He loves to work hard. He runs scout team. He runs, the defense when he's out there, and he came up with a huge play today. So we're thankful to have him. And then the play also that Matakevich made, I think that flies under the radar a little bit, but the discipline to do your job every play for however long it takes, I think that was to be celebrated as well.
And I know, kind of going back to Vic's first question, I know you guys say it's the most important game because it's the next game and things like that, but you obviously understand that for this fan base, this is a team that's tormented this franchise for decades now. Just what is it like to be able to deliver a win like that? Obviously, not only to the team, but for this fan base as well.
Yeah, it gets me emotional, Heather. It does. I mean, all week long we try and go through it. Hey, one day at a time, process. But we know what this game means to our fan base, and just really, really special. Wish they could have been in the building, honestly, to experience it. It would have been crazy, I'm sure, and hopefully everyone at home enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Heather.
Hey, Sean, Adam Benini, congratulations on the win. You described last week as a character win. How would you describe this game?
More character, honestly, more character and guts, man. Just real blue collar approach, and again, just give a lot of credit to the coaches, the players, man. Executed at a high level at times. Certainly, there's things we can do better, but that was a gutty performance, man.
And your defense, I mean, it's had gaps in its play this year. We've talked about that. I think back to the Raider game, and I think to today, and we use the word opportunistic, forcing a turnover, Zimmer there at a key moment. How would you describe this defense to this point now, 8 games into the season?
Well, there's certainly things that we can improve on, and as an overall team, that's true from today as well. And I think we're getting better with more and bigger challenges ahead with Seattle coming in next week. So we got to continue to grow as a defense. You saw what we were able to do offensively in terms of an area that was not probably most would describe as an area of strength for us. We went out and ran the ball today, and I thought our offensive line did an incredible job. And there's still a lot to work on every week here for us.
Thank you, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Coach, good job on the win. I wanted to just talk to you specifically about your red zone offense today. Kind of a nice bounce back week. Obviously, the run game had a big part in that, but what did you feel about your offensive execution in the red zone there today and how it differed from last week's struggles?
Yeah, I thought once we got into the red zone for the most part, Chris, we were able to stay on schedule and stay out of the negative play, situations there. So I thought that was big for us. And then just the execution again by the players, the physical nature of our offensive line, the physical nature of our backs and tight ends, blocking in the run game, carrying the ball, and then Josh made a big run in there as well with great ball security. So it was all hands on deck and great to see the execution.
Perfect. Thanks.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, thanks for taking the time. Congrats on the win. Your run game really, from the start of this game, the first drive all the way through, really looked to be on point, not only from what the running backs were doing, but especially on the offensive line. Can you speak to, how the offensive line played, particularly in the run game, and what maybe John Feliciano meant in getting him back in his performance?
Yeah, great question. John's a big part of what we try and do here, and certainly a big part of the offensive line. And we haven't had him, and I think that added to our identity today. It's never one guy though, so let's keep things in perspective there. We didn't know obviously that he was going to have to play the whole game. We thought maybe he'd be on a pitch count because it being his first game back. But just again, incredibly proud of the offensive line, and now we got to do it again because it's got to be a consistent thing and a consistent mindset more than anything. And I think that was, being physical is one thing. It's got to start with the mindset, and that's what I'm most proud of with those guys and the coaches.
And if I could, one more, with Matt dealing with the injury, Tremaine banged up this year, you've really had to lean on AJ Klein. How do you feel like he's performed, not only like today, but, overall in these 8 games?
Yeah, he's got incredible amounts of resiliency, honestly. I mean, he plays any position he's asked to play. He studies, he works his butt off. Really no different than the guy I was around in Carolina, Brandon and myself being around him in Carolina years ago. And there was a gap obviously in between where he went to New Orleans there for a few years and then we were up here. So, he's a valuable part of our team.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hi, Sean. You mentioned to Vic there, you're sitting at your locker, kind of things are going through your head. You're writing some things down you want to improve on. But when you did have a moment to kind of sit there for yourself and decompress, what was going through your head?
Yeah, I mean, just a lot of work's going into this. These wins every week don't come easy. That's a good football team, coached by one of the best ever, if not the best ever, and so just a battle. It was a street fight from the start, and we knew it was going to be that way. Our guys just played, and they kept playing, and I would just say overall, for me personally, just thankful for everyone who have contributed to this. Right, it's never one man, and I'm just thankful that we can give this to our fans.
Yeah, Dion mentioned this isn't your Super Bowl. How do you balance that approach of celebrating the wins, and the victories along the way? But what does it mean, I guess, that your team keeps the big perspective, in mind there?
Yeah, that's real. And that's probably why I am how I am, and typically after wins, and no different here. I mean, I gave him the day off just to enjoy this, and we've been on a long stretch, without the bye and the other piece where we thought we would have kind of a shortened week after the Kansas City, what was supposed to be that Thursday night was going to kind of act as a mini bye for us, and we didn't get that either. So really proud of the guys, the way they persevered. Not just, we got to get back fresh. We've got some injuries but that's, these guys have battled. Next man has been prepared and stepped up and done a good job.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure.
Hey, Sean, it's Kim Jones. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you, Kim.
Congratulations. And since I raised my hand, you've touched on this a little bit, but I figured I'd ask it anyway.
Sure.
Your team has obviously, from my perspective, just played its tail off for you, even if it hasn't always been pretty. And I'm wondering if first of all, the way I heard you just say tomorrow you gave them the day off, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So is that, but also, we saw you smile earlier on this Zoom call, which was kind of cool. Like, is there that idea that you have to take the tiniest step back and recognize how hard these guys have played? They've played hurt and they won a big game today, and let them enjoy it, even if it is for, 12 to 24 hours?
Yeah, that's critical. Even for myself, you work hard, right, Kim? You work hard yourself, and you try and be consistent through the weeks, and that's important, right? This is an emotional win for our entire city. A lot's going into this to get us to where we are, and there's still a lot of football yet to be played, and a lot of things we have to get better at. But I'm going to go home tonight and just take an hour or two and just enjoy being around my family here.
Sean, if I may follow up with Tremaine, it feels like he gets banged up every week and goes back out there and probably wills himself to go back out there. Do you have any concerns about him health-wise right now?
Well, not that I know of. I
Okay.
haven't gotten the update, honestly, Kim, from Nate, our
Right.
trainer. But I was real proud of the way he wanted back in that game within a play or two, and just awesome. I mean, he's really growing in that regard.
Thank you, Sean. Congrats.
Thanks, Kim.
Thanks, Coach. That's it for today.
Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks, Emily. Congrats.